Okay, so here's just a quick video to explain how I use my noise gate with all of my super high gain and loud pedals. So, I know a lot of people have comments about the NS2, but I use it, it works fine for me. I've got no complaints. Depending on how you set it, I know that there's a lot of comments about it affecting your tone, but I think if you set it up right, it's pretty good for the money. So anyways, where I'm going with this is when I am playing full blast, like jamming volume, I have my pedals cranked, the amp cranked, and literally when I'm not playing, you couldn't even tell the amp's on, maybe just the amp hiss, but it's going to be on a clean channel anyways when I'm using these. So most of the time when I go and jam, people ask me, like, how do you get it so quiet? Well, here's how I do that. So I use the send and return feature of the NS2, and I run all of the noisy pedals through the send and return. So the signal chain goes like this. I have the tuner going directly to the input. Okay, so there's one long cable from there. All of this, starting from the mini phaser, because that's a noisy pedal. It's not a high gain pedal, but it's still noisy. You hear the swoosh and all that stuff, and I don't want any of that. So there's a loop starting from here, going into the Dun Effects Death Metal, Charlie, HM2, Death Metal, and the Iron Horse. And so the send, I'm running a cable from the send to the beginning of that. So starting there, these are all in series, one after the other, and then there's a return going here. So that will leave me the output to either go straight into the clean channel of the amp, or in this case, because I'm kind of maxed out for space on this board, I'm running the output into a second board that's just my time-based stuff, and then from there going into the front of the amp. So I hope that explains it. I know that this is sort of a long-winded explanation, but this is the best I got. A lot of people have asked me, like, how do you tame this much gain? And that's the answer. I just set up the noise gate properly, right? So basically, by the time all of my signal hits the delays and gets all the echoes, it's not going to echo any of the squealing or feedback or any of that stuff. So I'm getting just the dirt signal without any of the feedback, especially when I do like dead stops, which is common for me. And then if I've got anything wet, like a delay or a reverb as the trail, it's not gonna echo any of those beeps or any of that noise. It's just going to be clean signal, this doing its job. And also I wanted to add one thing, that when you run it this way, you actually don't even have to set these quite so hot. I noticed a lot of the times before, when I was running this straight into the front with like an overdrive in the front into like the dirty channel of the recto here, that I had to set this pretty extreme, like, and then as a result, maybe sometimes then I could notice a little bit of a tone suck or hindrance. But when you run it this way, if you're running dirt pedals, I would even just run an overdrive like this, to be honest with you. Even if I was just doing a couple pedals in the front of the amp and just using the dirty channels from the amp, I would still run any of the overdrives in the loop of this. It's a couple extra wires, a little bit more fuss, but it works pretty good. So there you go.